Exodus chapter 39. And of the blue and purple and scarlet they made cloths of service, to do service in the holy place. They made the holy garments for Aaron, as Yahweh commanded Moses. And he made the ephod of gold, blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twisted linen. And they did beat the gold into thin plates, and cut it into wires to work it in the blue, and in the purple, and in the scarlet, and in the fine linen, with cunning work. They made shoulder pieces for it. To couple it together by the two edges was it coupled together. And the curious girdle of his ephod that was upon it was of the same according to the work thereof, of gold, blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen, as Yahweh commanded Moses. And they wrought onyx stones, enclosed in ouches of gold, graven as signets are graven, with the names of the children of Israel. And he put them on the shoulders of the ephod, that they should be stones for a memorial to the children of Israel, as Yahweh commanded Moses. And he made the breastplate of cunning work, like the work of the ephod, of gold, blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen. It was 4 square. They made the breastplate double, a span that was the length of thereof, and a span the breadth thereof, being doubled. And they set in it 4 rows of stones. The first row was a sardius, a topaz, and a carbuncle. This was the first row. In the second row, an emerald, a sapphire, and a diamond. In the third row, a ligure, an agate, and an amethyst. In the fourth row, a beryl, an onyx, and a jasper. They were enclosed in ouches of gold in their enclosings. And the stones were according to the name of the children of Israel, 12 according to their names, like the engravings of a signet, every one with his name according to the 12 tribes. And they made upon the breastplate chains at the end of the wreathen work of pure gold. And they made 2 ouches of gold and 2 gold rings, and put the 2 rings into the 2 ends of the breastplate. And they put the 2 wreathen chains of gold in the 2 rings on the ends of the breastplate. And the 2 ends of the 2 wreathen chains they fastened in the 2 ouches, and put them on the shoulder piece of the ephod before it. And they made 2 rings of gold, and put them on the 2 ends of the breastplate upon the border of it, which was on the side of the ephod inward. And they made 2 other golden rings, and put them on the 2 sides of the ephod underneath, toward the forepart of it, over against the other couplings thereof, above the curious girdle of the ephod. And they did bind the breastplate by his rings unto the rings of the ephod with a lace of blue, that it might be above the curious girdle of the ephod, and that the breastplate might not be loosed from the ephod, as Yahweh commanded Moses. And he made the robe of the ephod of woven work, all of blue. And there was a hole in the midst of the robe, as the hole of the habergeon, with a band round about the hole, that it should not end. And they made upon the hems of the robe pomegranates of blue and purple and scarlet, and twined linen. And they made the bells of pure gold, and put the bells between the pomegranates upon the hem of the robe, round about between the pomegranates. A bell and a pomegranate, a bell and a pomegranate, round about the hem of the robe, to minister in, as Yahweh commanded Moses. And they made coats of fine linen of woven work for Aaron and for his sons, and the mitre of fine linen, and goodly bonnets of linen, and goodly bonnets of fine linen, and linen breeches of fine twined linen, and the girdle of fine twined linen, and blue and purple and scarlet of needlework, as Yahweh commanded Moses. And they made the plate of the holy crown of pure gold, and wrote upon it a writing like to the engraving of a signet, holiness to the Lord, or holiness to Yahweh. And they tied it unto a lace of blue, to fasten it upon on high upon the mitre, as Yahweh commanded Moses. This was all the work of the tabernacle of the tent of the congregation finished. Thus was all the work of the tabernacle of the tent of the congregation finished. And the children of Israel did according to all that Yahweh commanded Moses, so did they. And they brought the tabernacle unto Moses, the tent, and all his furnishings, his tacks, his boards, his bars, and his pillars, and his sockets, and the covering of ram skin dyed red, and the covering of badger skins, and the veil of the covering, the ark of the testimony, and the staves thereof, and the mercy seat, the table and all the vessels thereof, and the showbread, the pure candlestick with the image, with the lamps thereof, even with the lamps to be set in order, and all the vessels thereof, and the oil for light, and the golden altar, and the anointing oil, and the sweet incense, and the hanging for the tabernacle door, the brazen altar and his grate of brass, his staves and all his vessels, the laver and his foot, the hangings of the court, his pillars and his sockets, and the hanging of the court gate, his cords and his pins, and all the vessels in the service of the tabernacle, or the tent of the congregation, the cloths of service to do service in the holy place, and the holy garments for Aaron the priest, and his sons' garments to minister in the priest's office, according to all that Yahweh commanded Moses. So the children of Israel made all the work. And Moses did look upon all the work, and behold, they had done it as Yahweh had commanded. Even so had they done it. And Moses blessed them. That concludes Exodus chapter 39. Thank you for coming by for the hearing of the reading. That was a complicated piece of work, wasn't it? Well, excuse me a second. I thank you. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Tuck a prayer request in the comments if you're mind to. And by all means, subscribe. Join our We Thrive with human beings as we worship and listen and study the Word of God and go forward towards God in His holy ordinance of life. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and your soul, and love your neighbor as yourself. You should do no less, and you can do no better. Ta.